So like everybody, I started with Lincoln cents and Jefferson nickels and kind of progressed from there.
So what's your thoughts on the hobby of coin collecting and in the year 2023, kind of where it's at and where it's going?
Wow, that's kind of hard to figure out because guys like you are the future. Guys like me, I'm the dinosaur standing in the field going, what is that bright light in the sky? So I still think the hobby is healthy, but it has unhealthy areas. I think people need to understand, I think the biggest thing they need to understand is the difference between a wholesome coin and a compromised or damaged coin. Too many people are buying coins with problems and paying nearly the same price as coins without problems. And that's education, getting to look at a lot of coins. So people of my generation, we came to conventions like this all the time. This was nirvana for us.
Yeah.
And we, so the attendance is down at these conventions because your generation is staying at home and doing it on the computer.
Right.
And that has its advantages, but you don't get to hold coins in your hand and look at them and compare them in the flesh. And that makes a big difference. And I think that's the biggest problem with the new generation is they don't have the hands-on experience that you can get at a convention like the ANA coming up.
Yeah.
You can look at thousands and thousands of coins in an afternoon. Now you can, on the internet, look at thousands and thousands of pictures, but as you know, tilt the coin one way and the scratch shows, tilt the coin another way, it doesn't.
Right.
Lighting will affect the tonal qualities and the surface qualities of what you're seeing. So there's nothing like holding it in your hand, rotating it under the light, and learning from that. So I learned a lot about coins by going to shows like the ANA, walking the floor, but also going to the auction preview. You can see thousands of coins right there in front of you. You can see a famous collection come up.
Yeah.
You can see what a knowledgeable collector took 20 or 30 or 40 years to put together and what the best of the best are. And once you get that in your mind, then when you see a coin, you can go to what I call the file cabinet in the back of your mind, open it up and take that memory out and compare it to what you're looking at.
Yeah.
So if you've gone to the convention and you've looked at XYZ collection that it took the collector 40 years to put together and it's a world-renowned collection, and you've seen those coins, then you know what the best is. You know how close the coin that you're looking at comes to that.
Yeah.
That's extremely important for people that are putting together, especially high-grade, high-value coins, is that experience of holding, looking, and comparing.
Right.
And a lot of times, an auction, if they have a really great collection, will pull in consignments from other people of the same types of coins. And that's especially neat because you see the best of the best along with things that aren't the best of the best that they're hoping get pulled along by the better collection.
Yeah.
So you can do side-by-side comparisons of coins in the same grade or nearly the same grade and see why collector A chose that coin over another one.
Have you ever personally found a coin yourself that was already graded and you felt like, I'm not really confident that this was graded correctly and resubmitted the coin and, maybe it came back as the correct grade that you thought it would be?
There are dealers that make their living doing that. Yes. I see a bunch of coins all the time that I personally disagree with the grade. Higher or lower, whatever. That's part of developing your own standards. So I tell people all the time, if you take 10 PCGS or NGC coins, same date, same mint mark, same grade, and you line 10 of them up on the counter, and then you put them in order from I like this one the best to I like this one the least. You're going to have one or two coins that are at the high end of the grade that may upgrade but are at the high end. You're going to have two or three coins at the lower end of the grade that may be overgraded coins, and then you're going to have the rest of them as more solid grade coins. That's a great way of learning the difference within a grade of coins. So The difference between a particular MS65 and 66 coin is if you submit the 65 coin enough, it may turn into, instead of being a high-end 65 coin, it could turn into a low-end 66 coin.
Right.
So it's just a matter of
Who
luck of
actually
the draw.
grades it.
You can't always blindly look at the label and go, okay, it's an MS63 or 5 or whatever the label says, and pay that price, because some coins are worth less than list and
Right.
some coins are worth a lot more than list because of the quality within the grade.
Right.
And a lot of that goes to surface quality. So in real estate, it's location, location, location. With coins, it's surfaces, surfaces, surfaces. So you can have an MS65 coin with some wispy toning that's very nice. You can have an MS65 dipped out coin, or you can have an MS65 coin with wildly colored surfaces, and the price differential can be astronomical.
Okay.
So you don't always get that from photographs.
Right.
You have to get coins in the flesh and look at them and start to understand the difference from there.
What's your thoughts on mint error coins? I'm always, making videos about mint errors. I'm a big, big collector of them, I guess you could say. I'm just fascinated with them. What do you think is the fascination with a lot of collectors and just the average
It's a
person?
mistake.
Yeah.
I mean, people love mistakes. You don't know a mintage, have no idea how many were made because they were mistakes. And then visual quality of the error is the most important thing. If you got to get a magnifying glass out and look at it,
Right.
it's not a big enough error to be interesting. But if you pick it up and go, oh wow, that's cool. For example, I bought it here at the show, a 1964 Washington quarter that was struck on a silver dime planchet. So you have a quarter that's a little itty bitty dime.
Right.
It's misshapen because when it got hit, it wasn't the retaining collar didn't do anything, and it was able to expand at will.
Yeah.
So you have this oblong shaped quarter on a dime planchet.
Yeah.
I also have a $50 on a quarter planchet. So those are really cool errors that somebody can pick up and go, that's something really strange and really different.
Yeah.
And that's what you want to look for in errors, is the visual quality of the error.
You'll actually see, like on those coins, like the word liberty and the parts of the design of the quarter or the $50 will be cut off there as a
They're
result.
just running off the edge of the coin.
Yeah.
And they won't be perfectly round because they were not in the retaining collar when they were struck.
Right.
And the coin, the planchet, when it was struck, was able to expand however it wanted to based on physics.
Yeah, people always ask me, like a crazy, very noticeable type of mint error. People always ask me, how in the world did that ever get released, from the mint? And I try to, tell people these are billions of coins that are being produced.
Exactly.
Like,
So if you know anything about the minting process, after they're minted, they go down into what's called a riddler.
Yeah.
And the riddler is a tray with holes in it the size of the coin to pass through, and it shakes. And the coins pass through the holes. Well, if an error coin that is smaller than the hole, it'll pass through. If it's larger, it could maybe turn on its edge and pass through. But the riddler catches most of the errors. So what we have a chance to buy are the ones that get past the riddler. They get put into bags, not rolls, because they're generally not the right shape and size of a coin. So they're not going to go into a roll unless they're a smaller coin. So
and then those bags get shipped.
those bags get shipped and then to people like Brinks
Yes.
or people that roll coins and take them to places of businesses.
Okay. What are your thoughts on the United States going to a cashless society?
Well, one, I wouldn't like it. And two, I don't think in my lifetime that's a possibility, because people of my generation are so used to cash.
Right.
I understand you guys like to go, okay, I'll Apple Pay that. I do. I Apple paid for my Dunkin' Donuts this morning, but I still like cash.
Yeah.
And I tell people all the time, you need to have a box full of cash at home. And they go, I said, well, what happens someday when you pull out your credit card and it doesn't work? And I've had people tell me, oh, that'll always work because I always have money. What happens if there's no electricity? We had a great storm here last night.
No ATMs, no banks.
If the electricity goes out, you go into the corner store and need a water, and they go, I'm sorry, no electricity, but if I got a $5 bill, I'm going to get a bottle of water.
Right.
If you just got your debit card or your Apple Pay, you're going to be disappointed. So you need to have emergency cash saved up. And based on that, as well as other privacy issues, I think cash will be important at least through my lifetime.
And do you think if the United States, does introduce like some kind of digital dollar, or they do go to a cashless society, what kind of effect do you think that will have on the coin collecting hobby in general? Do you think like cash would even become more collectible then, or?
I think it'll become less collectible. Let's use stamps as an example.
Okay.
Okay, when I first started in the business in 1975, stamps were a third of our business.
Really?
Today they're zero.
Yeah.
Because when's the last time you used a stamp?
It's been a while.
Yeah, like never.
Well, I used to mail
Almost.
letters. Like
right, but I'm just saying
10 years
almost
ago.
never. You pay all your bills online.
Yes.
You don't write thank you notes. You send text messages.
Yes.
So you don't use stamps. So you have no reason to collect stamps. The same thing could happen to coins, probably in less of a dramatic fashion, but yet I still think it would hurt the hobby because people don't have that nostalgic connection to the item.
I don't know your age, but
I'm 64.
okay. Well,
I started collecting coins the last year of 90% silver.
okay. Oh, that's what I was about to ask you about. So, about silver and gold, backing the dollar, and kind of the transition in the 1960s from silver to clad. What was it like to experience that, or were you even kind of aware of it at that time?
I was aware of it, but very lightly. I was 6 years old, so
Okay.
I'm not acutely aware. Silver was still around.
But when you were growing up, like in pocket change, was it pretty common to like see a silver quarter or silver dime?
Not really. It went out of circulation pretty quickly.
Okay.
So as soon as the clad coins started becoming available, people hoarded the silver. So even in the late 60s, it was getting pretty unusual to get a silver coin. I mean, still, it happened as a regular course of business, but if you got a handful of coins, most of them were copper clad because Gresham's law. Bad money pushes good money out. So people were like, I'm going to save the silver, I'm going to use the clad.
Okay.
So that was a common practice.
Okay. Awesome. I think that's good, guys. Thank you. I appreciate that.
No problem.
And